Well, how y'all doing? Lord have mercy, it's Dan. I want to welcome everyone to my home in the sticks. Wherever you're at in the world, I hope you're having a great weekend and I hope everything's good with you. Before we get started on today's video, I'm always going to say that if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. And if you return and just see what old Dan's got going on over her, that's sure enough, thank you for coming back. But what I want to share with you and y'all today is, Lord of mercy, I'm going to show you how to properly plant onion sets in a raised bed. So give me a second, and that's what we finna do. Lord of mercy, Dan, what in the far are you talking about? Y'all notice the way I said properly? Properly. I grow a bunch of stuff over here at the home in the sticks. Onions are one thing that I have never been able to grow. A raised bed, in the ground, nothing. And the reason why is I haven't been planting them right this whole time. Let me rephrase that. I plant them right, but I just leave them there. I don't do what I'm going to tell you what I should have been doing. So I'm going to point you down. I'm going to show you the raised beds, or raised bed. I've cleaned it out, weeded it out, and I'm going to show you what I'm left with, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to add into it, and then we're going to commence to planting some onion sets. All right, here is my 6-foot raised bed, and it's I don't know, 2 foot wide by 6 foot long. The soil has settled a lot, but this is the stuff that I'm left with. It is still some real valuable soil, and I think it's going to be really good to plant in, but the level of the soil has dropped. Just over time, soil is always going to drop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some Bacto, and this is a premium potting mix. I like Bacto, it works really good. I got some black cow manure, I'm a real big fan of that. And I'm going to add some of this Bacto into this bed. We're going to pick this level up just a little bit. We're going to finish it off with the black cow. And yeah, I don't know, this is something I've never done before, but I've talked to quite a few people that I work with. Mainly some folks that have been growing onions for a long time, and I explained to them what I've been doing. They're like, Dan, you're doing that all wrong. So yeah, let's do this, and then we'll bump some gums while I'm doing this. Okay, so we're gonna get this soil level back up to where it needs to be. We're not gonna fill it all the way up, but just gonna add some Bacto in here. Let's see how that goes. Okay, yeah, that looks good. All right, so yeah, we got that done. All right, so we got the raised bed filled up to, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way. We're leaving a little bit of space right here because we're gonna fill in with something else. All right, so we have a couple of different varieties of onions we're gonna plant out. I have some yellow onions. Some folks call these sets. I just call them onions, just whatever you want to call them, but have a couple of varieties of them. Here's one that I really like. This is a red onion. Got some white onions. This is a super sweet yellow, and I have some shallots. So we're going to get these in the ground. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it this go round, the fertilizer that I'm going to use, and how I'm going to backfill it with the black cow manure. And I'll also tell you the one thing that I did wrong this whole time, and it was the reason why I never really got any onions at all. So let's get these onions in the ground. All right, Dan, what is going to be the planting space? Well, I really like intensive planting. In a raised bed, in my opinion, you can really put these onions close together, but I'm probably going to keep them maybe about 4 inches apart and about 2 or 3 inches away from the rail of the raised bed, because you don't want the onion having to compete with this rail right here. You want it to be able to get big naturally. So the way that I do it is I use these 2 fingers, my pinky and my thumb. Make one indentation and I'll make another indentation. And that's roughly 4 inches, 5 inches maybe. And we're going to do that this whole way down, and we're going to plant all of these onion sets out. I think I'm going to try to keep them all together in rows by species. So yeah, I'm finna do that. All right, we're gonna start off with these yellow onions, and this is the correct planting orientation for an onion. You got your little bitty hairs down at the bottom, that's the roots, and of course here's your top, and all we're gonna do is just set it on in the hole like that. I'm going to do a long line of yellow onions. Here's the red. We're going to do the same thing. We got a super sweet yellow. Get those in there. So I'm going to go ahead and fill all of these holes up with onion sets and then turn the camera back on. All right, so we got some onion sets planted out. We got some yellow, some red, some super sweet. And down on this other end, I planted out some white. This is what it's looking like. And the one thing to take into consideration and to remember is when you plant onions, you want the soil to come up just about to the neck, where just a little thing right here is just sticking out of the ground like that. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to fertilize these guys. When it starts getting a little bit chilly, they'll have something that they can take in to grow. Again, I'm a really big fan of this Happy Frog. It's worked really well for me. This is a 645, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. As long as these numbers right here stay close to 5, I think you should be fine. I've used this a lot and I really like it. So let's take some of this, and all I'm going to do is just spread it out over these rows. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this black cow manure, and I'm just going to go around each one of these onion sets to where just the top of the stem is sticking up out of the ground. So I'm going to do that with black cow to all of these onions. All right, we have all our onion sets tucked in. Here's one right here. See where I'll just got it covered up to where just the tip of it sticks up out of the soil, and covered everybody up with some black cow manure. Last thing we got to do is I'm going to go get some hay. You can use hay, you can use some type of mulch, grass clippings that have been mulched. I would try to stay away from anything that's got a lot of seed in it, but or you can use maybe some hardwood, natural hardwood mulch. I try to stay away from the mulch that is dyed. Chemical is probably not good for the stuff that you're trying to grow, but just mulch. If you got some pine straw, use it. I got some like straw. I'm gonna mulch this bed down with some straw for a couple of reasons. 2 reasons really: to retain some of that moisture in the soil, and also provide these onion sets with some protection if the temperature does decide it wants to dip down into whatever. So let's do that. Got the 6-foot raised bed mulched in with some easy straw. This is where I failed miserably when I've been trying to grow onions over here at the home in the sticks. As this onion set starts to get tall, it gets its green shoots, and the green shoots come up. When the onion set does that, you need to push the soil away from that onion so the bulb can actually expand and get bigger. I just planted them and I just left them there, and nothing really happened. All I had, when I pulled out my onion, all I had was a little bitty old thing like this. So that is where I failed miserably over here at the home in the sticks. The last and final thing, we're going to fire up this solar water pump, and we are going to really soak this bed down. So let's do that. Well, all right, that's what I wanted to share with you and y'all today. Lord mercy, it's a little warm out here. How to properly plant onion sets in a raised bed, something I did not do since I've been trying to grow onions, and that's probably why I haven't gotten any onions. Been doing it wrong all this time. So hopefully you and y'all can learn from my mistake, but it is what it is. Gardening is all about learning, and I'm all about learning and sharing. So again, I hope everybody is having a show enough good weekend. I hope you stay safe amid this crisis that's coming back. If y'all like this video, go and give it a thumbs up. They help. If you haven't subscribed to the Home and Stick channel, Lord of mercy, y'all need to come over here and give old Dan a look, because I'm always doing stuff like trying to get onions to grow over here in raised beds. Well, my daggum camera died, so with that being said, you know it's coming. Damn referee, sure enough, always gonna say it. Don't let nobody dull your shine. And I mean nobody. Show enough, get your shine on, get your grow on. Learn something whenever you can. Dan will see you and y'all in the next video.